Alrighty then. Here we go again. Boy, I tell you, it never fails. Never fails. This thing really gets me sometime. How's it going? Okay. It's me. Oh, there it is. Just popped in. I was wondering if it was going to ever show up. I tell you what, this really trips me out sometimes. Hey, it's New Year's Eve. How about that? We've made it to New Year's Eve. And man, and beyond, I guess. Uh Tonight, just so everybody knows, I did cook some black eyed peas. I it took me till now to find out that that's a tradition, black eyed peas and collard greens or something. I was this years old uh, when I found that out. And I understand. Hey, what's happening, Lisa? I understand uh, black eyed peas is for luck and collard greens is for money. Well, I've been eating collard greens, shoot, for 60 some odd years and I'm still broke. So, hey, Happy New Year, man. Okay. And cornbread for the goal. It just so happens I made what some would call it just so happens I think it's called a black eyed pea pie or something, where you make your black eyed peas and once you get them cooked, you put them in a dish and make cornbread on top of it. I made that today. I actually had a taste for that, and there used to be a young lady that made that for me, and I said, "Well, hey, a friend of mine said to me, hey, you can make that," and I said, "Well, I'll give it a shot." So I put that together, and it turned out fabulous. Turned out absolutely fabulous. So, um, hey, I had to pat myself on the back for that one because um, I usually now I did not make the greens. Again, I'll probably have spinach or something with it. Um, so I am going to attempt. I'm attempt to go out tonight. They have a New Year's Eve show uh, down at the casino, the Hard Rock Casino of Northern Indiana. Now, they made sure they called it of Northern Indiana and not where it's actually at. But yeah, I might go up to that show. I supposed to have some reserved tickets up there. I'm gonna go up there and find out. We'll see. Anybody else planning to get out, or we all playing it safe and just counting down quietly at the house? Um, I decided at the last minute I was gonna go up there and check it out. So we'll see. I might change my mind again by the end of this podcast. All right, so of course I'm gonna try to shorten this up. I got some funny stuff though that came across me. Also, um, uh, you all know I like them public service announcements. So uh, I wanna get a couple of them out too. We're inside, not going out, keeping our butts safely at home and eat our collards and black eyed peas. Hey, I feel you. I tell you what, I got a half a mind to stay in myself and I mean right at the stroke of midnight be filling my gut up because I tell you what, and I cooked some and I fried some chicken and it is some of the best chicken I have ever cooked. Okay? It is some of the best chicken I have ever cooked. I'm like, oh man, I need to be eating this ASAP. So, anyway, uh, quick little public announcement, right quick for the newlyweds going into 2026. Hey, check it out.
What would you tell a young couple starting out?
Keep his stomach full and his balls empty.
I was not ready for that. You heard it here first.
Hey, sounds like good advice for me. Sounds like good advice to me. Anyway, um, came across another one that was really funny. This young lady, she wears this guy out. Oh my goodness, she talks about this guy like a dog. But I love it. I love it. Every time she puts out something, I'm on it, and I just like it. So check out what this lady has to say about watching somebody get old.
Watching Donald Trump age in real time is some of the best performance art that America has ever put on. It's some of the most beautiful theater I've ever seen. Because look, these makeup artists are out here fighting for their life. You heard me. They paint the face, but then they stop at his ears. They paint the face, but then forget the nussy. What? Now, I'm going to tell you the irony in all of this. Donald Trump talked so much stuff about Joe Biden aging, and right in front of our eyes, we're literally watching a grape turn into a raisin. And Trump is anti-everything, except gender-affirming care. He's all for that because he's getting that every day. Because the fillers, the bronzer, well, it's not really bronze, but you know what I mean. Whatever they put in them to keep them standing upright, whatever that stuff is, they trying their best to keep them hanging on. But see, you can't hide aging. You can only delay it. And even that's starting to fail. Like, y'all remember that mystery bruise that he had on one hand? Well, now it looks like it's done jumped over to the other hand, too. That's not a coincidence. That's a sequel. Don't forget, Trump is 79 years old. The oldest president we've ever had. And when Joe Biden was president, everybody was talking about that's so old. And now Trump out here looking like expired deli meat, but all of a sudden he's NFL bound? Okay. For real, the whole thing reminds me of what it looks like when food goes bad. You know how it is. You see the mold on the outside first, long before the inside even gives up. And instead of America throwing it away, it's like, just cut that part off. It's still good. No, it's not. Every day is a new liver spot, a new bruise, a new wobble, and they still trying to sell it to us like it's fresh. And I'm just wondering, exactly what does America call old now?
Right. Hey, and hey, Carmen, you know what? It behooves me. I haven't seen any mark on that ear either. That's some magnificent regenerating ear or something. Now I didn't know we could regenerate gristle. I didn't know we had regenerative parts on our bodies, you know. So, hey Charles, what's happening, man? How you doing? Hey man, it's almost that time. Happy New Year to everybody, just in case I don't get to say it tomorrow. Happy New Year to everybody. So yeah, she really hit it right on the head with that one. I mean, this guy is like getting, I mean, yeah. Oh man. Talk about bad look. I mean bad look. So anyway, I do want to discuss something that was sent to me today as well, about a gentleman who spent 25 years in prison, and he got out of prison, and he got awarded an award from the state, then sued the city and got paid, and the state is making him pay the money back. Check this out. It's crazy. Check this out.
A man who spent a quarter century behind bars for a murder he was wrongfully convicted of has now been ordered to repay more than $1 million to the state. It is part of a Court of Appeals decision after a separate lawsuit paid him more than $7 million. This is a story I have been following for years. Back in 2017, our cameras were rolling as Desmond Ricks learned he would be released from prison. And today I talked with his former attorney and a state lawmaker in response to this latest move by judges. For roughly 25 years, Desmond Ricks was an inmate in state prison where he always maintained his innocence for the crime of murder. And then in 2017, a judge ordering his release, finding he had been wrongfully convicted. Ricks was among those who received $50,000 a year for every year of incarceration under the state's Wrongful Imprisonment Compensation Act, also known as WICA. For Ricks, it amounted to $1.25 million from the state.
Desmond Ricks endured the worst kind of harm and suffering you can imagine.
One of his attorneys at the time was Wolf Mueller.
25 years in a cage for a crime he did not commit. The compensation under the state, which was $1.25 million, doesn't come close to the harm that he suffered.
Ricks then won over $7.5 million in a lawsuit against the city of Detroit that accused the detectives on his case of corruption. That's when the state wanted him to repay their $1.25 million to the WICA fund. The law requires that payback is done if a third party issues compensation. In the case of Ricks, it was the city of Detroit. Ricks sued to keep the WICA money, but the state court said he could not keep it.
This was a bipartisan bill.
State Senator Joe Bellino from Monroe says the matter is more involved than simply paying out WICA funds to those wrongfully convicted and moving on. To be specific, after the state's fund ran low years ago, he says it's been even more critical to get money returned in the event Ricks and others also wrongfully convicted file suits against municipalities and police agencies and win.
There's no way in the world I would vote to let someone get that money and then get $7.5 million or whatever this person got in a law settlement. The state is not a huge bucket where people should be able to double dip every time there's a mistake made.
In this case, Rick's lawsuit was against the city of Detroit and two officers and accused them of falsifying evidence involving bullets back in '92. With dozens of similar cases, Mueller says it's time for WICA rules to be amended to allow former inmates to keep that money and any else they receive in a lawsuit.
No amount of money can make up for the harm of a quarter century and your entire adult life lost. So to say that the state paid you $50,000 per year, that's peanuts compared to the harm.
Also, Ricks previously pointed out that he not only lost years of his life, but the chance to watch his two daughters grow up. At this point, efforts to amend the law have not succeeded, but they remain underway. I also reached out to another attorney for Ricks for an interview, and am still awaiting a response.
Now, okay. Now, first of all, hey, Charles, check this out. He didn't pay his debt because he was convicted wrongly. He didn't have a debt to pay. You know, he doesn't owe anybody shit. You're right that he doesn't owe anybody anything. He didn't have a debt to pay. They wrongfully convicted him in the first place. Now, here's the thing to look at. Now, this is the thing to look at. Okay, we got 50 states, and every state has different laws on the books about a whole host of stuff. All of it crazy. There's 100-year-old laws that states have on the books that they've never been changed. And in this particular case, I don't know when they put this particular law on their state books. But here's the thing to look at. What kind of people are you that you come up with a way? If you wrongly convict somebody and you have to pay for the wrongful conviction, What kind of politicians come up with the idea? Where do you get the idea that if he's able to sue somebody else too, if somebody else is also wrong in this matter, not just you, somebody else is also wrong, and he gets them to pay, you get to wipe out the fact that you screwed him in the first place. Where do they come up with this kind of shit? This stuff is so... Now, you know what? This is the stuff that makes me cuss. People ask me why do I curse a lot. This the kind of stuff that makes you want to cuss somebody out. How do you come up with the idea that if he's allowed to sue somebody else because they did wrong too, the cops did wrong and framed them, screwed them over, whatever, you're allowed to sue them too. You got to give us the money we gave you back because we screwed you. See, I don't call that double dipping. I call that getting what's owed to you. That's not double dipping. Double dipping is getting something you don't deserve. The state filed charges and convicted. The cops in the city are the ones that framed him in the first place. So the cops in the city framed him. The state convicted him on bad stuff. That's two debts they owe him. See, I'd call it three debts, but the cops, they run around with that funky little stuff they call qualified immunity a lot of times. So you can't personally name them. But in my opinion, that's three debts he's owed. He should have been able to sue the cops personally, the city, and the state. He should be getting a third check. And nobody, you can't keep up. I know here in Indiana, the politicians downstate here, they've been coming up with some of the most incredible stuff. They follow a plan called it's the Koch brothers plan. The Koch brothers came up with this organization. I can't think of the name of the organization, but they gather every year and they bring in the Republicans from every state to this function. I can't remember the name of it. And every year, this organization gives the Republicans for every state their marching orders, what laws they want on the books for the next year. And the Republicans go out and they try their best to get these laws on the books. It's an organization that was founded by the Charles and David Koch. I don't know if anybody remembers them. David died. I think Charles is still alive, or vice versa. But they got an organization, and I cannot think of the name of it off the top of my head again. But they're the kind of people who would come up with a law like this. They're the kind of people who would come up with a crazy-ass law like this. Who thinks? Where does the idea? What person came up with? Well, if somebody else owes him money, we don't have to pay him. I tell you what. How about this? How about this? I got it. How about if the phone company gets to get money from me, I don't have to pay the utility company. That sound good? Sounds good to me. If the phone company gets to get money from me, I don't have to pay the utility company. Crazy stuff. Crazy, crazy stuff. And so, moving along, these things just get to me. They get to me. They get to me. They get to me so fast. That puts me on 10 when I see stuff like that. That just puts me on 10. So, all right, moving along. Didn't take long for the what they call him I wish I could Cankles something didn't take long for him to retaliate for the Epstein stuff. Old Trump has now retaliated against Lauren Boebert. If you recall, Lauren Boebert, who is a senator from Colorado, voted with the other Republicans. She was one of the early people to vote with the small group of Republicans to release the Epstein files. She was one of the first ones to go on record that she was going to vote for it. Now, that was prior to, after they had like 18 that was going to vote to bring the files out. That's when Donald Trump threw a tantrum and told everybody to go ahead and vote for it. And that's how everybody in Congress voted for it. Well, remember the night before, Lauren Boebert was called to the White House, and they had her in the White House grilling the shit out of her, and she said she was going to vote for it anyway. Well, it didn't take long for him to retaliate against her for that, and that chick Tina Peters. They won't release her. She's in prison, and Colorado won't release her from prison. Remember, Donald Trump came up with this fake pardon for her. I guess he thought somebody cared because you can't federally pardon somebody in prison on state charges. So check out what Trump did in retaliation.
So Lauren Boebert is slamming Trump and suggesting he vetoed a clean water project in her district as revenge for her vote to release the Epstein files. And this veto certainly has revenge written all over it. Trump just used his first veto of his term to block a major drinking water project in Colorado. Boebert, who sponsored the bill, may be right that this is retaliation for her breaking with Trump on the Epstein files. It may also be revenge against Colorado for refusing to release a MAGA convict and Trump ally who's in state prison currently for trying to tamper with voting machines after the 2020 election. The veto kills funding for the Arkansas Valley Conduit, a decades-long project designed to bring safe drinking water to 39 communities on Colorado's eastern plains. The bill passed unanimously in both the House and the Senate. Republicans and Democrats all supported it. In a new statement, Boebert says, President Trump decided to veto a completely non-controversial, bipartisan bill that passed both the House and the Senate unanimously. Why? Because nothing says America first like denying clean drinking water to 50,000 people in southeast Colorado, many of whom enthusiastically voted for him in all three elections. I must have missed the rally where he stood in Colorado and promised to personally derail critical water infrastructure projects. My bad. I thought the campaign was about lowering costs and cutting red tape. But hey, if this administration wants to make its legacy blocking projects that deliver water to rural Americans, that's on them. She added, quote, and I sincerely hope this veto has nothing to do with political retaliation for calling out corruption and demanding accountability. Americans deserve leadership that puts people over politics. This also comes after Trump publicly promised retaliation against Colorado for keeping his MAGA ally Tina Peters in prison. Peters was convicted on state charges for a scheme to tamper with voting systems while searching for supposed 2020 election fraud. Trump even issued a fake pardon for Peters recently, despite the fact that he cannot pardon state charges, and then he raged at state officials for not releasing her. Now he's blocking clean water projects in the state as retribution. The communities affected rely on groundwater that's high in salt and in some cases contaminated with radioactivity. Congress could override the veto. The bill passed unanimously, so it would only require a 2/3 vote, but that's only if Republican leadership allows it to come up for a vote. At this point, it's essentially up to Mike Johnson if he dare go against Donald Trump. Whether Trump is blocking clean drinking water to protect himself as it relates to Epstein or to retaliate on behalf of his January 6th allies, either explanation is crazy.
Now, that has been my silence with the Midas touch. Here is the original, one of the original reports on that story. It's you just can't make this stuff up.
Just used his first veto of his current term to kill a funding project for drinking water in Colorado. The bill passed Congress with unanimous bipartisan support. This veto comes as Trump has promised retaliation against Colorado for keeping his ally Tina Peters in prison for her scheme to tamper with voting systems. Trump's recently denied disaster funding to Colorado and is breaking up the NCAR science lab in Boulder. This pipeline project is in the district of Republican Congresswoman Lauren Boebert, who recently stood up to Trump to force the release of the government files on the infamous pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. Trump is now killing the bill to finish the Arkansas Valley Conduit, a decades-long project to bring safe drinking water to 39 communities on the eastern plains between Pueblo and Lamar. The groundwater there is high in salt, and wells sometimes unleash radioactivity into the water supply. This project was first approved by Congress in 1962. In recent years, the cost estimate nearly doubled. Trump's veto message called it a taxpayer handout, suggested it should be paid for locally. Colorado's Democratic senators have chipped away at the funding gap on this project for more than a decade, and Republican Congresswoman Boebert sponsored the House version of the bill to get it across the finish line. She told me tonight she hopes that this veto is not political retribution.
It does make you wonder, and I hope that's not the case. I've been told by the White House this is not retribution, but when it's the first of two bills that have been vetoed in this administration in just the first year of this administration, it kind of makes you want to step back and say, well, what's really going on here? But regardless, I was elected to serve Colorado's 4th district. This project stretches beyond the 4th district to constituents that I have served in the past and will continue to serve. And I will ensure that they get this access that they so desperately are needing.
The Senate and the House sent this bill to President Trump by voice vote, which suggests there could be wide margins to overturn the president's veto, but only if Republican leaders in the House and Senate will allow an override vote. Boebert said that she's already been in touch with Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson to figure out ways to pass this funding bill, either through a veto override or by rolling it into other legislation.
Correction, I said she was a senator. She is a House member, a representative of Colorado's 4th. So there, he's meddling in Colorado's drinking water. And hey, guess what else has been going on? The EPA. He's gotten the EPA, thanks to Russell Vogt and Project 2025. They have ripped out all manner of regulations for clean water. Okay? So here's this situation where this guy's acting a fool because he's upset. This guy's acting a fool because he's upset. Now imagine all those people in Colorado that voted for him. There's plenty of people in that's a Republican district. So you're going to choke the shit out of a Republican district because you mad at the congressperson from that district. That's what kind of guy this guy is. This guy shows you who he is every day. Now, is Mike Johnson going to go against Trump and take a vote to override the veto? Now, there's enough people to override the veto. Now, I tell you what, this was a bipartisan bill. I got a problem with it being a bipartisan bill. I got to look this bill up to see what Democrats voted on it. Because I saw a video a little while back, and I'm going to look that video up, where Elie Mystal says, and if you don't know who he is, I'll show you him one of these days. He says that Hakeem Jeffries does not want to be the leader of an opposition party. And I thought that was pretty interesting. And this bill passing tells me he must have been right. Because the Democrats should not be voting for anything the Republicans coming out with. The Democrats should be against anything. They should be opposing anything and everything that the Republicans sponsor. So the fact that they're calling this a bipartisan bill that passed. Now, it's a shame that Trump vetoed it. I don't feel bad because, as far as I'm concerned, the hell with the Republicans and them out there in Colorado. That just shows you who this guy is. He's a rotten, SOB. We already knew that. My thing is, why did the Democrats vote for it? Democrats shouldn't have voted for anything. My opinion. Just my opinion. They shouldn't have voted for nothing. Should have left their ass out there, especially with what they doing with the EPA. Especially with that. As far as I'm concerned, they shouldn't be voting for anything that the Republicans are sponsoring. So, he's living up to what we all knew he was going to be. I did not find out he did a second veto too. I got to find out what the second veto was because I didn't hear about it. And when I find that out, I'll bring that up. But moving along again, just to continue to show just how bad of a guy this is and an administration this is. Back, if any of you remember, back earlier this year, I think March or April of this year, when they went around ranting and raving about DEI and stripping DEI out of everything. They went into, they went on into Arlington Cemetery, the national cemetery for the veterans and the heroes. They went into Arlington Cemetery and went to stripping pictures out of black people. Went to the the Human Rights, the Black History Museum in D.C. and went to stripping out everything, talking about slavery, talking about making America look bad. Hello. So they've been on this quest to strip out DEI, and they caught, for some reason, Black history has somehow became DEI. They're trying to erase Black history. They went so far as to literally go overseas to continue trying to erase black history. Check this one out.
We have some news right now. There has been mass outrage across the Netherlands after the United States military removed 2 displays in southern Netherlands recognizing black troops at a United States military cemetery who helped liberate Europe from Germany. This happened earlier this year, but now the guest books, according to the Associated Press, are filled with objections to the brim about what the United States military is doing, and we know why now. Well, the reason why these black soldiers, these displays recognizing the black soldiers, were removed from the military cemetery, well, it's because of Donald Trump's executive order that he issued earlier this year to end DEI programs. And as a result, we're no longer honoring black troops that helped liberate the Netherlands. Dutch officials, families of U.S. soldiers, local residents, and more are furious. And these displays are no longer there. Spread the word.
Black American soldiers have participated in every war in American history since the Revolution. And since the Revolution, they saw their roles, their responsibilities diminished. And so by World War II, you had a concerted effort to keep them out of positions that mattered, and with few exceptions. And so that the Army mirrored the Southern United States. The Southern United States had codified in the laws called Jim Crow segregation, and the Army mirrored that.
That's William, the mystery man for me.
Everybody in the South is angry about the situation now, that they put the pedals away because they're humans as well. They came in the houses, they slept with the white girls, and they came home, and they have to sit in the back of the bus again.
The people in Limburg area and the Netherlands, they didn't expect it at all. They know about what is happening in the States with putting people out of the history and out of the websites in Arlington and in the Ministry of Defense, etc. But never we thought that that could be also happening here in the Netherlands, and that's why everybody is very disappointed and sad about that.
They literally went to the cemeteries in the Netherlands and stripped out all of the panels that depicted black soldiers who helped free the people, helped defend the people in the Netherlands. Do you believe that? They went to the Netherlands, to the cemetery, to strip out any reference to the black soldiers. That is racism on a level, I didn't intend to talk about racism again this time because I did cover some last time. But that puts a whole nother light on this administration's level of racism. To go to a cemetery in another country, that happens to be a U.S. military facility, and strip all mention of black people out of it. Strip all the panels that are dedicated to black soldiers. They don't want anything dedicated to anything black. How did black history become DEI? See, they're doing all manner of things in the name of DEI. And that's just some bull crap. That is bull crap. You just can't make it up. You just can't make it up. So for those who wonder why I curse, okay, for those who wonder why I curse, that's why I curse. And then to have this very same person, go out, go on his platforms, at his rallies, and talk about how much the black people love him. After doing all of this, he goes out on the rallies and talks about how much the black people love him. Well, let's see how much the black people love Trump.
Morning, this is Tawanda reporting live for PTN Petty Television News in South Central Los Angeles, where today we are fact-checking the president's latest claim that black people do, in fact, love him.
Let me tell you, black people love Trump. I got the biggest vote. I got the biggest vote with black people. They know a scam better than anybody. They know what it is to be scammed.
We'll see about that. Hell no. Girl, don't play with me like that this early.
Do I what?
Man, fuck Donald Trump.
Man, fuck Donald Trump. Fuck Donald Trump.
Fuck Donald Trump.
Fuck Donald Trump and whoever woke him up this morning.
Fuck Donald Trump.
I said what I said.
Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck Donald Trump. I said what I said.
Girl, fuck Donald Trump.
Fuck Donald Trump.
Fuck Donald Trump. Now move. This part got to be perfect.
Fuck Donald Trump. Look at these prices. Look at them.
People have spoken. The message is clear. Trump has black people fucked up. Consensus reached. Conclusion undeniable. Vibes unanimous. South Central said what it said, and they said it loud. Back to you in the studio.
Fuck you. Just fuck all the way off. What an asshole and a small-minded, small dick shit to do. Like, you have no couth. You are an immature child. You are a bigot, a fucking racist, and a small penis asshole. Yeah, I said that. Just hateful and delusional. And you have the nerve to be upset because people were critical of Charlie Kirk's, what he said before he died, how he talked about black people and women and all, and you have the nerve to be all up in arms about that. Just fuck all the way off. That just shows me that you were just grifting off of Charlie Kirk's death. That you don't give a shit about respecting someone when they die. You don't care. You care about yourself. And you are preaching and promoting hate. It's just vile. It makes me sick that you are president of the United States. It's embarrassing. You are an embarrassment to this country. It's just gross. I don't even know how else. I mean, it's just, I hate to even say it. Like, I hate to even say your name. I don't even like to hear your voice. It's so gross. It sounds like you're vomiting when you talk. Everything is like that. And you wonder where all the hate comes from in this country? It comes from you. You are the promoter of hate in this country. The example of it.
Say less. See, there's other people that understand. Sometimes you just got to say, fuck you. Okay? That's the only thing that's the only thing that expresses it the way it needs to be expressed. That's just the way it is. You know, that you have to be able to express the disgust that you have with a given situation or person. You know, that's just the way it is. Okay. I'm done with my rant for the day. Thank you for hanging out with me. I gotta calm myself down. Oh my goodness, I could go on for another hour. There's so much that I could say about this person and this administration. Not today. I'm gonna say thank you again for hanging out with me. We're going into a new year. It's going to be interesting. Can't wait. I cannot wait. I want to see what 2026 brings. And it's just about here. A few more hours and it will be here. So I want to wish all of you a happy new year. Much health, much wealth, and good times to all of you. And again, I really appreciate y'all hanging out with me. And I'm going to get out of here. I can't wait to dig into this food I cooked. You know, I can't wait. Hey, thank you. I'm going to try and have a good night. I'm going to try and be safe. And you as well. Thanks a lot, y'all. Appreciate you. I'm out of here. Take it easy. In a minute.